And he's doing a lot of it on his own. He went to, do you know Allegra Marche?
Yes. Yeah.
So he stayed in a hostel in Thailand, and she was in the same room as him.
Okay, we are back in public. We're going to start the meeting with the flag salute. Mark, can you lead us in the flag salute, please?
Sure, please join me. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we are going to start the evening with some very important announcements. It's one of the favorite meetings of the year. We are going to take this opportunity to honor 6 educators from Roosevelt, Edison, and Westfield High School who have been selected among hundreds of their peers for special recognition this year. On behalf of the Board of Education, I have the honor of presenting you with a resolution attesting to your dedication to our students and to the opportunity to express our gratitude for all of your hard work. So we will go one by one. First, the Westfield Optimist Club's Intermediate Teachers of the Year, Christine Kessu from Roosevelt. If you could please join me. So, it is my honor to present you with this resolution from the Board of Education of Westfield, New Jersey. Whereas the Optimist Club of Westfield, a supporter of schools and children in the community for many years, has established an annual award for the outstanding teaching in intermediate schools. And whereas this award is a fitting tribute to the importance of teaching in the intermediate grades and the nobility of the teaching profession. And whereas, is it Kessu?
Kessu, yes.
Okay, good. Christine Kessu, who began her career in Westfield in 1994, and continues today as a Spanish teacher at Roosevelt Intermediate School, has been awarded the 19th Annual Intermediate School Outstanding Teacher Award for outstanding teaching, interest in children, and continued pursuit of professional growth. And whereas the nominations received on behalf of Christine Kessu expressed appreciation for her genuine kindness, dedication, and ability to engage and highly motivate her students. Now therefore be it resolved that this Board of Education publicly expresses appreciation to the Optimist Club of Westfield for establishing this award, and that this Board of Education sincerely congratulates Christine Kessu, representing Roosevelt Intermediate School, for receiving the 2016 Outstanding Teacher Award, a significant honor and a notable accomplishment. And that this resolution be presented to Christine Kessu on June 14, 2016. And that a copy of this formal resolution becomes a part of the permanent records of the Westfield, New Jersey Board of Education. Congratulations. Sure. At this point, I think, Stu, are you going to come up and say a few words?
Yes, ma'am.
Great.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I would like to first thank the Board of Education and the Optimist Club for once again organizing this event and recognizing these outstanding teachers. I realize that there are a few teachers to be recognized, and I have a concert at Roosevelt taking place right now, so I will make my remarks brief. As a principal at Roosevelt for the past 12 years, and administrator in Westfield for the past 24 years, I've had the opportunity to observe many excellent teachers. Christine Kessu, a 6th grade Spanish teacher, is one of them. Her ability to relate to her students has allowed her year after year to create a warm and nurturing environment for students transitioning to the middle school. Secondly, her motherly approach allows her students to feel comfortable and willing to take risks in the classroom. I could go on and on extolling the wonderful assets this lady brings to education. I won't. Succinctly, she has worked diligently at her craft to be recognized for this award, and I take this opportunity on behalf of the Roosevelt community to congratulate her.
humbled to be standing here today representing Roosevelt Intermediate School as Teacher of the Year. I'm humbled because there are simply so many outstanding, passionate, creative educators at Roosevelt who challenge, inspire, and support their students every day. People who are not only my colleagues, but my friends. People who have helped me become good at what I do. I'm honored to be part of such a remarkable and distinguished group of educators here in the Westfield school system. I think I speak for everyone when I say that we are fortunate to work here. I would like to thank the Optimist Club for this prestigious honor. In 24 years of teaching, this is my most recognized or cherished recognition. I also want to thank the administration, Stu and Brian, my department heads, Bob and Dave, the members of the Board of Education, the parents of the community, and my fellow colleagues. The support that I receive from all of them on a daily basis is what makes my job easier. To my husband, Mickey, a high school French teacher, thank you for allowing me to bounce ideas off of you. To my children, Sebastian and Alexandra, thank you for listening to the teacher talk that you have heard around the kitchen table for years. And thank you for teaching me about what is in and what is not in regards to teenagers. Dr. Ken Shulak and Mr. Robert Roth hired me back in 1994. I can still remember how nervous I was during the interview and even remember what I wore. A very green suit from Talbot's, anything to make a 24-year-old seem a bit more mature. I was thrilled when I received the call that I had been hired, and I have never looked back. My fiancé, Mickey, was working at the high school at the time, and the two of us quickly became known as the young teachers that lived on Woodland Avenue in Mountainside. We frequently had students strolling by our house and always got the report on Monday mornings that we had been spotted in various places around town. We since have moved to Berkeley Heights, but I have always felt a strong connection to the Westfield community and the children that I have taught. Westfield will forever hold a special spot in my heart. I have seen tremendous changes in the World Language Department in Westfield over the years. When I arrived in the district, there was not an elementary language program. In 6th grade, the students took a course called Exploring World Languages. That course was a 9-week course that exposed the students to Latin, French, Spanish, Italian, and German. Then before entering 7th grade, the students would single out a language to take for the remaining 2 years of middle school, either Latin, French, or Spanish. Fast forward 22 years later, and we now have a successful elementary Spanish program that begins in 3rd grade, a 3-year middle school Spanish and French program that I am proud to be a part of, and a high school language program that is recognized statewide for its language achievement. I am truly blessed to be a part of the growth that has taken place since 1994. I am very happy that I chose to be an educator. The education that I received at the University of Delaware and Middlebury College thoroughly prepared me for this career. But to be honest, the real education began once I had my own classroom and was responsible for the education of my own students. I enjoy making learning fun and interesting, but at the same time challenging enough for the age level that I teach. I love teaching middle school. This may sound crazy, but I really do. I would like to tell you why, as if you were my students. To my students, former and current, it is you that I owe the biggest gracias to. It is teaching you that brought me here tonight in the first place. For it is because of you that I enjoy getting up every day to do what I do. It is you that makes this job fun, challenging, frustrating, exciting, exhausting, and rewarding, all at the same time. It is you that has taught me that I need to be flexible in the classroom and sometimes just go with the flow. It is you that challenges and motivates me to be current and up to date with the most successful ways to teach a language and to connect to middle school students. I enjoy getting to know you as my student, but I recognize that you have a life outside of the classroom walls. That life is just as important as the education that you receive inside the walls of the school. For many of you, this is the single most important thing in your life at this age. I know that fostering a relationship with you is just as important as the material that I teach. I know that if we have a mutual respect for each other, our academic year is going to be successful. And finally, it is you that I get attached to every year for the student-teacher relationship that we have built, and it is you that I am proud and sad to say goodbye to in June. What you probably don't know is that I learned far more from you than you could ever imagine. And that is powerful, knowing that education is a two-way street, that we are all learning and growing together. In conclusion, a happy teacher makes for a happy classroom. I love what I do. I am happy. Think about what you love doing and think about what makes you good. I made the choice to be an educator and I've never regretted that decision. I enjoy helping kids to learn. I enjoy nurturing them. I enjoy hearing about their lives. I enjoy being silly with them, and I enjoy spending my day with them, thank goodness. As educators, we have a huge task to educate children. You see, that is the power of a teacher. We inspire, we provoke, we are the eternal optimist, even when we are not feeling so optimistic inside. All day we have eyes fixed upon us. Our students watch how we interact with other students, watch how we treat our colleagues, and listen to what we have to say. We have to be good role models, and I'm honored that you've seen that quality in me. Thank you very much for this prestigious award.
Now, it is my very great honor to give the Optimist Award recognition to Erin Mead from Edison Intermediate School. Resolution by the Board of Education of Westfield, New Jersey to Erin Mead, Intermediate School Teacher of the Year, 2015 to 2016. Whereas the Optimist Club of Westfield, a supporter of schools and children in the community for many years, has established an annual award for outstanding teaching in intermediate schools. And whereas this award is a fitting tribute to the importance of teaching in the intermediate grades and the nobility of the teaching profession. And whereas Erin Mead, language arts teacher at Edison Intermediate School, who celebrates her 15th year serving the students of Westfield, has been awarded the 19th Annual Intermediate School Outstanding Teacher Award for outstanding teaching, interest in children, and continued pursuit of professional growth. And whereas the nominations received on behalf of Erin Mead expressed appreciation for her creativity, enthusiasm, dedication, and excellent rapport with students. Now therefore be it resolved that this Board of Education publicly expresses appreciation to the Optimist Club of Westfield for establishing this award, and that this Board of Education sincerely congratulates Erin Mead, representing Edison Intermediate School, for receiving the 2016 Outstanding Teacher Award, a significant honor and a notable accomplishment. And that this resolution be presented to Erin Mead on June 14, 2016, and that a copy of this formal resolution becomes a part of the permanent records of the Westfield, New Jersey Board of Education. Congratulations. Thank you. Dr. Bolton, would you like to, there you are.
Not to be outdone by Roosevelt, but we also have a concert tonight. I'd like to thank the Optimist Club for sponsoring this important annual recognition. I'd like to also thank the members of the Board of Education, and especially Dr. Dolan, for taking the time tonight to honor Erin Mead. You could not have selected a more deserving teacher. For those of you who have any experience working with or living with a middle school age child, you would know that they are some of the most interesting people to be around. They are brilliant and absent-minded. They are passionate and silly. They are thoughtful and occasionally very challenging. Middle school students possess a host of really fantastic qualities, but most of all, they are keenly aware of hypocrisy and are astute observers of authenticity. Erin Mead's authenticity is the reason that we're here tonight. Erin Mead is a teacher who treats her students with the utmost respect without pretense. Kids don't have to earn her respect, she just gives it to them. And believe it or not, they reciprocate. She creates a space for her students to find a voice without ever using a teacher voice. She engages her students in meaningful work through examining rich pieces of literature and engaging in exciting debates. And I would offer that in a time when what we do as educators and students in schools is so often driven by results and rigor, Erin Mead offers students a very important attribute in her classroom, and that is to experience joy. Well, I could go on and on about the many reasons Erin deserves this award in the spirit of authenticity. I would like to invite the students who wrote letters on her behalf to share their thoughts. So please welcome Rachel Saxon, Emma Sarazin, and Brianna Worms.
As Dr. Bolton said, we're current students of Mrs. Mead.
Edison is an amazing place to be and grow up. We have all adored all of our teachers, but for many reasons, Mrs. Mead stuck out.
She is an inspiring, friendly, and absolutely amazing teacher. When we decided to nominate her for this amazing award, we poured all of our thoughts and feelings into her nomination letters.
These are some excerpts from our letters that portray exactly how deserving Mrs. Mead is of this award.
Mrs. Mead loves to learn from others and share things with her students. She loves to read, so she is always open to read books that her students suggest, and vice versa. Instances such as this, when Mrs. Mead shows her students that she is willing to learn from them and be their friend and confidant, are why Mrs. Mead's class is an incredible place to learn. Overall, my 8th grade year so far has proven to be the best year of my life, mostly due to Mrs. Mead. She's added light and laughter to my day every day. She's inspired me to follow my dreams and continue to learn and be curious. Her approachable and positive attitude has inspired me to be my best self. No teacher is as deserving as Mrs. Mead for this award.
Mrs. Mead always finds creative ways through all assignments, lets us choose our partners, and makes us laugh every day. There hasn't been one day where her class hasn't brought me to joy, even if I'm in a really bad mood. She always listens and gives a lot of help. She has incredible stories to tell and makes language arts so much fun. Mrs. Mead is helpful, funny, and nice. I love walking in her class every day, and I know what excitement lies ahead. I've learned so much from her this year in all different ways, all that I love. My writing skills have improved so much since I got her. She's the most incredible teacher I've ever had.
One day after school, I had come home raving about an amazing language arts lesson practically every day. And my mom said to me, "You know, Mrs. Mead is the best thing that ever happened to you." I still to this day agree with her. We were discussing how Mrs. Mead had helped me improve so much on all of my language arts skills. I'm always so thrilled and excited to go into her class, and this year, language arts is by far my favorite subject. I remember on the first day of school, when Rachel and I were walking out of her class, I turned to Rachel and said, "I could tell that I'm really going to like Mrs. Mead." And sure enough, here we are, Mrs. Mead, Teacher of the Year. So thank you, Mrs. Mead, for helping us learn, grow, and be the best students we can be. You deserve it.
Nice job,
It's not fair to make me go after them, but. Whew, okay. Thanks, guys. Okay, is this on?
Yep.
Okay, okay. First of all, thank you so much, ladies, for your amazing speeches. I happen to know, because I read their letters, that they wrote extra, so I highly appreciate it, and it was very sweet of you. Okay, so thank you first to the Board of Education for asking me to speak today. Your dedication to our district ensures that all Westfield students receive an outstanding educational experience. When I tell people that I'm a Westfield teacher, they often say, "Oh, what a nice place to work." I wholeheartedly agree with them, and it's a pleasure to come to work every day in such a distinguished, upstanding town with students like those three over there. I also want to thank Dr. Bolton and Mary Asfendis over here, who always welcome me into their offices, even when I seem to be interrupting something important. Did it a couple hours ago. Matt and Mary are the most supportive, kind, and respectful administrators that anyone could wish for. They work tirelessly to make sure Edison Intermediate School is exceptional. Thank you to my supervisor, Pamela Ackerman Garcia, who always encourages forward thinking, risk taking, and supports me in finding and funding new books. She appreciates novelty in teaching, which is exactly what middle school students need in the classroom. I also want to thank, where'd she go? Barbara Ball. I think she's over by the door. Yeah. Who hired me in 2001. Barbara convinced me that Westfield was the right district for me, and she was my first language arts supervisor. One day when reviewing a lesson plan, she said, "This sounds very fun, Erin, but why should the students do this?" Her question taught me how to find the so what in what I teach every day. Finally, I want to thank all my colleagues. There's a bunch of them over there. who are also my good friends, for coming here tonight. They took time out of their busy schedules to support me. You make Edison School my extended family every single day. You make my job joyful. Now, I'd like to say a few words about what it means to me to be honored with the Teacher of the Year award. When I read the names of award recipients from 1998 until today, I was so grateful to be included on the list. It is truly a privilege. It is such a privilege, in fact, that when I was trying to figure out what to say as Teacher of the Year, I was unusually nervous. Those of you who know me know that I'm not very shy. They're laughing. But when given the chance to talk about teaching, I couldn't figure out what to say. I asked practically all of the prior Teachers of the Year in my building what they talked about. Then I sat down at my computer and started writing about teaching theory and scientific research about the teenage brain. Then I got a stomachache because my thoughts were so stiff and boring. The next morning, my trusty co-teacher, Mr. McNana, asked me why I looked so glum. I said, I don't know what to say as Teacher of the Year, it's not coming out right. He said, you're a language arts teacher. You're allowed to be creative, why don't you just write an acrostic poem? And I laughed, but then I started thinking and I realized he was onto something. As a language arts teacher, I asked my students to take compositional risk. I pushed them to write the truth, use the power of words, find the so what in everything that they do. The best part about my subject is that it allows for thinking outside of the box. Writing is an art, and art is the expression of human creative skill and imagination. Art is appreciated for beauty or emotional power. The problem was my prior thoughts on teaching were lacking emotion. So I decided to practice what I always preach and take a compositional risk. And what came out was this acrostic poem about why I think teaching is an outstanding career choice. In case you're wondering, an acrostic poem is when the first letter in the line spells out a particular word. I don't have a visual, but I'll do my best. I'll just say the letters loudly from the word. So the word is outstanding. Oh, on the first day of school, they look at me with wide eyes, some scared, some excited, some don't look at me at all. You, under pressure to learn quickly, understand 8 subjects, under lots of rules. T, they want to impress me. They want me to like them. They want to be themselves. S, some are already confident. Some have been told they are amazing. T, then they're the ones who try to disappear. They don't know that we are all amazing. A, and then the year begins, and I remember to mix learning into fun. N, new content isn't so scary when you're making art, making friends, making decisions. D, doing what fits into being themselves. I try my best to give them choices, bits of freedom, I give them a voice. N, now they know that they can be amazing, taking a risk by raising their hands, reading out loud, sharing ideas, writing beautiful thoughts on paper. G, going to high school, knowing they are better than before, and maybe they will walk into the next classroom with wide eyes, all excited, all looking up. At the end of the school day, it's important to me that students have learned something about language arts. And the curriculum is definitely important to students' futures. But I find that most days it's not about the commas. Middle school kids are stuck in an uncomfortable place between independence and figuring out who they are. They need a safety net and mentors to guide them. I love teaching reading and writing, but I love connecting to students even more. I thank my students for trusting me to help them through such a complex time in their lives. Middle schoolers are complex, they live for the moment, and they are hard to figure out. But they know how much I care about them. As a former student once wrote to me, when I came into your class at the beginning of the year, all I wanted to do was leave. But now that's the last thing on my list. Thank you for always understanding how we feel as students. Thank you for listening to us all. If I can get even some of my students to feel that way about my classroom, then I can claim that my profession is truly outstanding. Thank you.
Thank you. We are, right?
This is absolutely the most fun part of what we do.
This in curriculum meetings, right, Jenny?
Yeah, they're good too.
And we're going to move on to the Westfield High School Teacher Awards. We'll go one by one. Christopher Tefelsky, you can come on. resolution by the Board of Education of Westfield, New Jersey, to Christopher Tefelsky, Westfield High School Distinguished Teacher of the Year, 2015 to 2016. Whereas the Distinguished Teacher of the Year Award has been established to annually recognize a teacher who through both excellence in teaching and a demonstrated commitment to intellectual pursuits beyond the classroom, serves as a model and inspiration to the high school community to strive towards excellence. And whereas Christopher Tefelsky, a science teacher at Westfield High School since 2003, is commended for his dedication and passion as an extraordinary educator, coach, and role model for his students. Now therefore be it resolved that this Board of Education publicly congratulates Christopher Tefelsky for receiving the 2016 Distinguished Teacher of the Year Award, a significant honor and a notable accomplishment. And that this resolution be presented to Christopher Tefelsky on June 14, 2016, and that a copy of this formal resolution becomes a part of the permanent records of the Westfield, New Jersey Board of Education. Sorry, wait, take a picture.
Thank you very much, and thank you to all of you. Around the high school, I wear a lot of hats. Academically and athletically, you guys have provided us with tons of support. Our science wing is outstanding. I know it's been a while since it's been built, but it's great. It gives our kids the opportunities, the equipment that we're stocked with really gives us the opportunity to do exciting things and new things in science. Athletically, the opportunities that these kids have to really pursue extracurricular interests. We just had our barbecue for the end of the season for the spring track team. We have 150 boys out for our team. And every single one of them, if you were to ask any one of those kids the role of athletics in their lives and how important it is to those kids, they would go on and on and on. So none of that would be possible without your support, so thank you very much. In addition, the faculty and the administration of Westfield High School really is extraordinary. Colleagues are really the best asset that we have. I was kind of fooled as a Westfield High School student because I had such good teachers that they made it look easy, which is like really what people, when you have people who are really exceptional at what they do, they can take things that are really, really hard and make them look easy. And you see them every day and they come to school with this energy, and they never refer to going to school as work. They always say, I'm going to school. They don't say I'm going to work. And so you just see them and the way they talk with kids about content, but also just about what's going on in their lives and what's going on in the teachers' lives and the way they relate with kids. And they're humans, they're not teachers, they're not robots. And as much as teaching, how we measure teaching has become a thing lately with tests and rubrics and stuff like that, I really think it's special that the teaching awards here at the high school are identified by asking kids and asking their families to talk about the personal impact that teachers have made on their kids' lives. And even as a science teacher, you can't measure that. I don't know how you take data on that. I don't know how you quantify that. And I think that's really special, that we honor the voices of the kids, because that's what we're all in it for. Our colleagues truly are the best resource that we have. You have new ideas and you want a second opinion. You've got somebody who's not just another professional, but a friend. You have people who are going to support you when things aren't going well. And I really have to say, my wife is also a colleague of mine, and she's going to get better. But really, I could not be better supported. Absolutely could not be better supported. Have ideas, have problems, have struggles. You just need someone to talk to. You need somebody who understands what it's like to do the work that we do. So that is absolutely invaluable to me. And finally, our supervisor, Dave Stoneback, he's retiring after 45 years in the district. And he really is really an inspirational person. He's unbelievably intelligent. He gets kids, he gets teaching, he gets kids, and he gets teaching kids. We're really gonna miss him, and I really appreciate the fact that he believed in me when I went to write the new exercise science course. Something that isn't done anywhere else. He trusted my ideas, he supported my ideas, wasn't really sure if it was gonna work, and he just kept pushing, you can do this, you can do this. And in the 3 years, we're wrapping up our 3rd year with the course now, we've had 200 kids take the class, and we've got, I think, 80 more kids signed up next year. So it's growing, the kids are really enthusiastic about it, and without Dave, it wouldn't happen. So he's really just been outstanding for all of us, and we're really gonna miss him. So thank you very much, I appreciate it.
Scott Rutherford.
Thank you.
So I would like to present you with this resolution by the Board of Education of Westfield, New Jersey, to Scott Rutherford, Westfield High School Above and Beyond Award 2015-16. Whereas the Westfield High School Above and Beyond Award has been established to recognize a teacher or counselor who has made a difference in the life of a struggling child, either socially, emotionally, or academically. And whereas this award is presented to Scott Rutherford, a dedicated mathematics teacher at Westfield High School since 2005, who also is the advisor of the National Honor Society, is commended for being kind, extremely approachable, and successful in impacting his students' understanding and appreciation of mathematics. Now therefore be it resolved that this Board of Education publicly congratulates Scott Rutherford for receiving the 2016 Above and Beyond Award, a significant honor and a notable accomplishment, and that this resolution be presented to Scott Rutherford on June 14, 2016, and that a copy of this formal resolution becomes a part of the permanent records of the Westfield, New Jersey Board of Education. There you go. See, I remember. Thank you. It's all yours. I'm gonna stay if you were.
Thank you. I'm both humbled and honored to be the recipient of the Above and Beyond Award this year. I consider myself fortunate to be part of Westfield High School and the Westfield School District. I often consider this my second family, and I've chosen the word family for a particular reason. My wonderful wife Tricia and our 2 daughters, Emma and Kelsey, are a true blessing in my life. While they're my family, I also have the distinct privilege of sharing each day at Westfield High School with many people that I also consider family. I've had the pleasure of working for terrific supervisors, collaborating with wonderful colleagues, and most importantly, creating bonds with my students, many of whom have been honored before the board this year. I see my students every day, and it's inevitable that our lives will intertwine together. Aside from teaching curriculum, I have the privilege of sharing my students' successes and celebrations, the joy of finally understanding a tough calculus concept, the excitement of getting into college, their thrill of passing a driver's test, the elation of attending prom and graduation. I also share in their most challenging times. I feel that I've built a rapport with my students that they can trust in me to help with their hardships. Whether it's a struggle through a challenging math section, the disappointment of not getting into their first choice school, the struggle of a broken hand, a car accident, or the angst of a sick relative or something more serious. I'm happy to have been a source for those students to go to. Our school has a wonderful support system in place to help anyone in need, and the teachers are often only a small step in this process. My advice to students is to always keep your head up and persevere through the tough times gracefully, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Although I truly love mathematics, I became an educator to make a difference in children's lives. As a teacher at the high school, I'm lucky to have this ability every day. Whatever's going on in the student's life academically, socially, or emotionally, for those 43 minutes that they're in my class, I try to create an environment where they can forget about what issue might be weighing heavily on their mind, and become lost in the beauty of the mathematics lesson for the day. I absolutely enjoy the many conversations with the students outside of class, discussing math, sports, family, college, or just life in general. My goal is to instill a sense of kindness toward others and an appreciation for learning, and I truly hope that all of the kids that are graduating this year take that on with them. Thank you again. It's an honor to receive this award.
I'd like to ask Christopher Vitale to join me, please. like to present you with this resolution by the Board of Education of Westfield, New Jersey, to Christopher Vitale, Westfield High School PTSO Teacher of the Year 2015 to 16. Whereas the Westfield High School PTSO Outstanding Teacher of the Year Award has been established to annually recognize a teacher who is encouraging and motivating, is a good role model, and shows respect for coworkers, students, and parents. And whereas this award is presented to Christopher Vitale, an instrumental music teacher since 2011 at Westfield High School, where he is a dedicated director of 7 different bands, the percussion ensemble, and the winter color guard, is commended for inspiring students with his leadership skills, creativity, and enthusiasm for music. Now therefore be it resolved that this Board of Education publicly congratulates Christopher Vitale for receiving the 2016 PTSO Outstanding Teacher of the Year Award, a significant honor and a notable accomplishment. And that this resolution be presented to Christopher Vitale on June 14, 2016, and that a copy of this formal resolution becomes a part of the permanent records of the Westfield, New Jersey Board of Education.
Thank you very much. This is the 3rd school district that I've worked in since I started teaching music, and I can say that this is the first district that I've worked in that I felt truly supported by all facets of the school district. This is actually the 2nd night in a row that Dr. Nelson and I have spent together. He was kind enough to join us last night for our spring concert. Dr. King, our supervisor, accompanied us to Philadelphia a few weeks ago for a performance at the Kimmel Center. Dr. Dolan was kind enough to come to a marching band competition in the fall, and it's just a really great place to work because everyone has your back, whether it's in their direct interest or not. Dr. King has been a tremendous supporter of me since she hired me 5 years ago, and she's been a source of advice, someone that I can vent to, and she'll calm me down and help us whatever we're working through. And she has bent over backwards to help the high school band program since I've been here, and I can't thank her enough for that. And I really think receiving this award is probably more credit to her than it is to my efforts. And I lost my train of thought, but I'm really honored and looking forward. I feel fortunate that I have found a profession that is not only a job, but it's a hobby of mine. I enjoy music, and I enjoy kids, and I enjoy making music with kids, and I feel very fortunate to have found a place to do that here in Westfield. So thank you very much.
Maria Martinez. I would like to present you with this resolution by the Board of Education of Westfield, New Jersey, to Maria Martinez, the Robert and Linda Fossey Memorial Award winner 2015 to 2016. Whereas the Robert and Linda Fossey Memorial Award has been established to annually recognize a member of the Westfield High School staff for excellence in education, and whereas this award, whose namesakes were a former principal of Westfield High School and a former teacher, has been conferred upon Maria Martinez, and whereas Maria Martinez, a dedicated paraprofessional at Westfield High School for 13 years, is commended for her continued kindness and interest in encouraging students with individual and in-classroom support. Now therefore be it resolved that this Board of Education publicly congratulates Maria Martinez for receiving the 2016 Robert and Linda Fossey Memorial Award for Excellence in Education, a significant honor and a notable accomplishment. And that this resolution be presented to Maria Martinez on June 14, 2016, and that a copy of this formal resolution becomes a part of the permanent records of the Westfield, New Jersey Board of Education. Congratulations.
I just want to say thank you to the board, thank you to the amazing teacher that I work with, to the amazing administrators, my husband, my family, my student. especially Jonathan, who is here. And I just will continue to do the best I can to support our students. Thank you so much.
Dr. Nelson, would you like to say a few words
Sure.
about your amazing teachers?
Good evening, everyone. I guess we're going to be outdone a little bit because our concert was yesterday, so I'm going to talk all night. I'm just kidding. Thank you, Dr. Dolan and the entire Board of Education for allowing me a moment to speak about this great group of educators. Westfield High School is an institution that challenges, supports, and prepares young adults for the next phase of their life. Our students are successful due to the caring efforts of our staff. The 4 educators that we are here to honor exhibit this quality through and through. In the classroom, all 4 of these special people practice the concept of meeting students where they are, then building them up from there to help them be successful, not only in their specific classroom, in this room, but also giving them a solid foundation to be successful in their next math, science, Spanish, and band courses. In addition to their classroom work, these individuals also give up their personal time to coach track, be an advisor/mentor to the National Honor Society, guide the various bands through the many practices and competitions, and even just staying late to help kids with their Spanish work. It is that level of commitment and dedication that makes them so special. So I want to thank you all publicly for being the generous educators you are, and for helping our students meet their highest potential. Congratulations and thank you.
And thanks again on behalf of the board. It really is one of our favorite parts of the year to be able to present these awards to all the educators and to hear their perspective. So I think we're going to take a short break. The PTSOs have some refreshments outside, and everybody can mix and mingle for a few minutes, and then we'll restart the meeting. Thank you. So we are back in public session. Mitch reminds me that while we certainly have a lot to celebrate, there was a horrible tragedy in Orlando this week. So in recognition of that, I think it's appropriate if we just have a few moments of silence to start the meeting again. Thank you. We'll continue with announcements. Chris, do you have anything?
I do not.
Mitch?
Yes, I do. From the intermediate school, congratulations to the Westfield debate team, who on May 20th took first and second place in the public forum debate at the inaugural speech festival for middle school students hosted by Ridge High School speech and debate team. Competing against more than 100 students from 7 schools, the winning team of Nira Mehta and Kaylee Zhao went head-to-head against fellow Westfield debaters Chelsea Duan and Isabella, do my best on the name here, maybe Shang, to take the 2 top spots of the night. I apologize if I mispronounced that. Parents and students at Addison Roosevelt Westfield High and the rising 6th grader invited to attend an information session about the Westfield debate team on Tuesday, June 21st at 6:30 p.m. at the Bauer branch of the Westfield Y. For more information, you can email westfielddebateteam@gmail.com. Thanks.
Thank you. I have 2 announcements from the high school. Congratulations to those Westfield High School graduating seniors who were among the recipients of more than 130 awards at the school's award night on May 26th. For a complete list of names and awards, please check the district website or the Westfield High School website. And congratulations are given to Brianna Reinhardt, a senior at Westfield High School, who was presented with a Youth of the Year award by the Westfield Area Y. Brianna, who will be attending UCLA, has participated in the YMCA civic engagement programs of Model United Nations and Youth in Government, holding leadership roles in both. She also created a statewide conference coming to fruition in 2016 titled Youth Advocacy Day, which will enable 13 delegates from across New Jersey to meet with state legislators and lobby for legislation they wrote themselves for this year's Youth and Government Conference. Brianna's recognition for her dedication to the YMCA civic engagement programs and her efforts to provide more youth in the community. The same empowering experience earned her the Youth of the Year award. Congratulations to Brianna. Thank you.
Charles, do you have anything?
Sure. The annual gala. 16 Westfield Public School retiring staff members were honored for 415 years of combined service by the Board of Education. Colleagues and guests at the 29th Annual Gala for School Employees on June 2nd. The time-honored event also pays tribute to employees with 25 years of service. Superintendent of Schools Margaret Dolan and Westfield Education Association President Gail Alston addressed the honorees, thanking them for their dedication and service to the Westfield Public Schools. Board of Education President Gretchen Olig and Vice President Peggy Oster formally recognized retirees and 25-year employees. For a complete list of the honored employees, please check the district website. So I guess there's good luck to the retirees and congratulations for those that made it 25 years.
Brendan.
No announcement.
Mark.
Yes, congratulations to the Westfield High School Club Ultimate Frisbee team who won the USA Ultimate New Jersey State Championship on Thursday night, June 2nd. The Westfield team ended the regular season ranked number 2 in the state of New Jersey. The team made an awesome second half comeback to defeat number 1 ranked Columbia High School by a score of 13-10 in the state championship game, which took place at the stadium of Drew University in Madison, New Jersey. The Westfield High School A team was led by senior captain Connor Russell, who threw 7 out of 13 assists in the finals, and junior captain Kevin Sue. The leading goal scorer in the finals was senior Mike Rossi, who had 3 goals. The Westfield High School team is coached by Ryan Bellini, 6th and 8th grade math teacher at Edison Intermediate School, and Anthony Nunez, who is part of the technology staff in the Westfield Public Schools.
Thank you. Peggy.
I have an announcement from the high school. Congratulations to Westfield High School 9th grader Tomas Coffey, who earned a perfect score on the 2016 National Latin Exam, according to an announcement by the University of Mary Washington, which administers the exam. Only 929 students out of over 140,000 who participated worldwide attained this distinction. Also receiving a gold medal for his accomplishment, Tomas, who is in his first year of studying the Latin language, commented, "I love how it connects to the English language today." Congratulations, Tomas.
Our next Board of Education meeting will be held next Tuesday, June 21st at 7:30 p.m. here in the boardroom. We'll begin the meeting by honoring our state champion boys tennis team, 2 track and field athletes, and several performing arts students who have gained statewide recognition. The complete agenda will be available on the Board of Education website on Friday, June 17th. Do you have any announcements?
I do.
Sorry, go ahead.
And one more announcement. For those who have been watching our board meetings on television or on our website, the person who's been responsible for those sessions, you don't get to see him because he's always behind the camera. But we'd like to thank one of our graduating seniors, Jonathan Bergman, who for the last 2 years has been filming the board meetings, and we'd like to wish him the best as he heads off to American University. Thank you very much.
Bring the camera around.
I appreciate it.
At this point, I'd like to recognize members of the public for agenda items only. Seeing no one come to the podium, we will begin our reorganization meeting. I'd like to ask the board to consider items 1 through 507, no, I'm just kidding.
39.
Through 39 set forth on the agenda. Can I have a second, please? Mitch, thank you very much. Dana, do you need to address anything specifically before we vote?
I don't think so, unless anybody has any questions about anything in particular.
This is the time of the year when we're renewing our, the board is, the various administrative pieces that keep us moving forward on a day-to-day basis, contracts, appointments for who's going to be responsible for what in the district. It's nothing unusual, correct?
No.
Anybody have any questions? Dana?
Mark Friedman?
Yes.
Kenny Galligan?
Yes.
Chris Leinhardt?
Yes, as to all except numbers 21 and 26, where I recuse myself and abstain from voting.
Ginny Lights?
Yes.
Gretchen Oleg?
Yes.
Peggy Oster?
Yes.
Charles Ostroff?
Yes.
Mitch Slater?
Yes.
Thank you. I'd like to ask the board to approve the minutes of the board meeting held on May 24th and the private minutes of that same date. Can I have a second? Jenny, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, personnel, Mark.
I'd like the board to consider personnel items 1 through 39. 38 and 39 are at the table as an addendum. No second. Ginny, thank you. Any questions or comments? No? Okay.
Mark Friedman?
Yes.
Brendan Galligan?
Yes.
Chris Lineheart?
Yes.
Ginny Lights?
Yes.
Gretchen Oleg?
Yes.
Peggy Oster?
Yes.
Charles Ostroff?
Except for number 32, I'm going to recuse myself and abstain.
Mitch Slater?
Yes. To all.
That's all.
Great. Facilities, Brendan.
No report right now. We do have, our summer projects are on track, and I'll have a full update before we close out the year.
Great. Long-range planning, Ginny.
Committee has no report. We will be hearing shortly from Dr. Dolan in curriculum instruction and program section regarding the strategic plan.
Okay. Policies, Chris.
Yes, the committee met on June 7th. We reviewed the policies you see before you, plus the 2 that are in notes for the record. We reviewed them all. There's minor changes, mostly ministerial in nature, or updates to existing code provisions. So as such, I would ask that we approve for first reading, I'd like the board to consider and approve for first reading, policies 3152, 3212, 3230, 3232, 3233, 4212, 4230, 4240, 4437. Do I have a second? Yes. Thank you. Any questions? Dana?
Mark Friedman?
Yes.
Brendan Galligan?
Yes.
Chris Lineheart?
Yes.
Ginny Lights?
Yes.
Gretchen Oleg?
Yes.
Peggy Oster?
Yes.
Charles Ostroff?
Yes.
Mitch Slater?
Yes. And I'd like the board to affirm the superintendent's decision on HIB incident 16E12 for the reasons set forth in such incident decision. May I have a second? Thank you, Jen.
Mark Friedman?
Yes.
Brendan Galligan?
Abstain?
Chris Lineheart?
Yes.
Ginny Lights?
Yes.
Gretchen Oleg?
Yes.
Peggy Oster?
Yes.
Charles Ostroff?
Yes.
Mitch Slater?
Yes. Nothing further to report.
Okay, great. Curriculum, I'd like to ask the board to approve items 1 and 2 on the agenda under curriculum. Can I have a second, please? Ginny, thank you. Just briefly, first I apologize. I did not send out notes from our meeting last week, so I'm just going to give you a very quick oral report regarding the curriculum that is on for first reading. The K through 5 staff that presented. It was actually great, and I wasn't kidding earlier when I said the curriculum stuff we do is among the best of things we do, because it gives us an opportunity to really interact with staff and see, you know, what their daily experience is like. So the K through 5 curriculum, basically all the teachers met in a professional learning group, and they developed a curriculum that's consistent across the board. We talked a lot about character development and the opportunities that they have in the gym setting that, you know, that are unique to that, to the way that they interact with our students, and how it varies from Lincoln to the elementary school. So hopefully y'all, I know that you got the curriculum in the packet, but I just wanted to give you a quick update on that. And Algebra 1 workshop, Algebra 2 workshop, and Geometry workshops are reworking of what used to be known as the BISIP, or the Basic Skills Programs, for those courses. Again, always, you know, Dr. Kichek and her team do an amazing job in presenting the curriculum to us. So unless anybody has any questions.
Mark Friedman?
Yes.
Brendan Galligan?
Yes.
Chris Lineheart?
Yes.
Ginny Lights?
Yes.
Gretchen Oleg?
Yes.
Peggy Oster?
Yes.
Charles Ostroff?
Yes.
Mitch Slater?
Yes.
And I would like to ask the board to adopt the Westfield Public Schools Strategic Plan, if I can have a second.
Oh, wait. Go back to number 2.
I thought I did 1 and 2 together.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You did 1 and 2
You
together.
did.
yeah.
I apologize.
I'm sorry. Can I have a second for item 3? Mark, thank you, and I will pause here and turn it over to Dr. Dolan.
Thank you. Tonight, the Westfield Strategic Plan for 2016 through 2021 is on the agenda for approval by the board. There was a full presentation of the plan at the May 24th board meeting. And on that night, we reviewed the mission statement, the district vision, and the beliefs that underlie all of our daily work. We also outlined the strategic directions that will guide the Westfield Public Schools for the next 5 years. The students who will graduate from Westfield High School next week are well prepared for their future. This is due in part to previous strategic plans, which were developed with community support and which made certain that our schools continue to change with the times and strive for higher standards. This strategic plan will do the same. It will do that for those students now in our schools and for the class of 2029 who will be entering Lincoln School next September. I would again like to thank everyone who participated in the development of the strategic plan. Based on suggestions and questions that we heard at the May 24th board meeting, we did clarify the third goal a bit more. The overall goal is to foster a culture of health and wellness. The steps under this include support development of character, respect, and citizenship, something we heard about a bit tonight, strengthen skills for social interactions. Then, based on some suggestions from the last meeting, the next part of the goal talks about, it has been changed to say, encourage coping skills and resiliency. We continue the aspect that says partner with mental health community resources, and we changed another aspect of it and changed the wording to be promote balance and wellness in policies, procedures, and practices. Once the plan is approved, we will communicate it to the community, to the parents and the teachers, to the students, and to community members at large. And we will begin the 2016-17 school year committed to the mission, vision, and beliefs of the strategic plan.
Thank you.
Good job.
Yes. Jenny.
So I just want to make one comment, and that is that I personally appreciate the opportunity, Dr. Dolan, to interact with you and Gretchen with you in the wording, the concepts, the intent of the goals. It is affirming to understand that sitting here as a board member, you do have a voice and an ability to interact and bring thoughtful conversation to the table. And I do appreciate that very much. And I'm very happy with the result. Thank you.
Good.
Right, and look forward to next steps.
Yeah.
For those of us concrete. Anybody else have any other questions? Okay, Dana?
Mark Friedman,
Yes.
Brendan Galligan,
Yes.
Chris Langhart.
Yes.
Jenny Lights.
Yes.
Gretchen Oleg.
Yes.
Peggy Oster.
Yes.
Charles Ostroff.
Yes.
Mitch Slater.
Yes.
Thank you. Nothing further with curriculum. There is a meeting this Thursday, correct? I will not be attending, but you guys are all set. Okay. Mark, finance.
I'd like the board to consider finance items 1 through 18. Second, please. Ginny, thank you. Just before if anybody else has comments, the first resolution is the one that allows for us to refund some bonds that bond council has guided us. They can be refunded and save money for the district. Roughly $6.7 million, but not to exceed $6,950,000. So that's the first one. And then the second resolution allows for the sale of the $12.6 million, up to $12.6 million of bonds that were approved, was approved in the district election in January of 2016. So anybody other comments or questions? Dana, please.
Mark Friedman,
Yes.
Brendan Galligan,
Yes.
Chris Langhart.
Yes as to all except numbers 1 and 2. I abstain from voting on those and recuse myself from those matters.
Jenny Lights.
Yes.
Gretchen Oleg.
Yes.
Peggy Oster.
Yes.
Charles Ostroff.
Yes.
Mitch Slater.
Yes.
Nothing else, Gretchen.
Great. Legislation, Brendan.
No report this week.
Technology, Mitch.
There's no report, but I wanted to just highlight this because I think this is kind of exciting news, and as I'm ending my term in the technology world, I I think this is something that was a discussion that started 5 years ago, and I'm very proud to see what Matt Bolton is about to undertake at Edison. A letter went out this week to all of the families at Edison Intermediate School announcing that a BYOD pilot program is going to take place during a week in June. BYOD means bring your own device, and essentially what is being attempted here is to provide authentic opportunities to use technology to enhance learning. It's not just about the devices, it's not just about the software, it's about enhancing learning, and that's something that the Technology Committee, this board's worked very, very hard on over the last 5 or 6 years. They hope to collect a lot of very, very good information from this pilot and then be able to report back this fall and be able to, I imagine, report to the board and probably to the committee on this as well. One thing that was important that Mr. Bolton put in the letter that parents should understand is that we do have policies, we do have something called digital citizenship, and none of the rules that have existed for any of these devices will have changed. They're there to be used for the lessons of that week. So I just want to congratulate, I meant to do it earlier when he was here, Matt Bolton for doing this. I know the high school in a variety of different ways has experimented with this, and I am very, very optimistic that going forward this is the future of education, certainly public education, and I'm very, very proud that Westfield is beginning to take the steps to get this done. So the technology committee is not meeting again this year until the fall, but I'm glad to see this go out on a very good note. And I guess the last thing I'll say, since I may not remember this next week, but I want to thank every member of the technology committee that I've served with over the last few years, those that are still on the board now, Ginny, Mark, Brendan, who else that's on the board, on the committee right now? It's been, but I also, Charles, but I also want to really thank to those that began it, and I really want to, he's not, no, there he is. I want to really thank publicly Paul, because none of this would have happened without your leadership. You took these ideas 5 years ago. You have really run with this and working with Brian Walker and his group, and with the great support of Dr. Dolan. None of this would be coming to fruition, and I'm just so, so proud of everything that we've been able to do in the high school, in the intermediate schools, and this summer, all of the elementary schools will get the infrastructure needed in order to provide this, as we called it, campus-like strategy. And I'm really, really proud of that. And again, Paul, I want to thank you again publicly for your leadership, because we needed that from day one. And again, thank all the members of the board for supporting everything, and especially the members of the committee, those that are on the board and those that served before us as well. So anyway.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to ask the board to note the notes for the record.
So noted.
Any unfinished business for tonight? New business. Liaison reports. Ginny.
Just a very quick report. I attended the annual meeting of the Union County Ed Services Commission. They also had a reorganization meeting. I was again elected vice president of that group. So I hope I represent you well.
Sure you do.
And they will.
Thank you. Close vote or landslide? Or
Yeah. Affirmation.
Okay.
All
Okay.
good. Uncontested.
Okay.
Like it.
Any other?
I do. I'd like to give a report from the Roosevelt PTSO. They've been very patient with me due to changes in my life. I haven't been able to attend as many of their meetings recently, so I just wanted to give you a final update of how the year went at Roosevelt for the PTSO. One of the big things they did, they initiated a letter of appeal and they were able to raise over $10,000 from that letter of appeal to put back into our schools, and I thank them very much for that effort. They have given gifts to the school of 3 new water fountains with water bottle filling capabilities, 6 new energy-efficient hand dryers for boys and girls bathrooms. The nurse's office has 2 new cots with storage below, paint, shelving, and storage. And they also do their teacher mini grants of approximately $1,500, including industrial fans for the gym. So I know Joanne Turner and Marty McDevitt were great leaders of that group, and this change has definitely benefited Roosevelt by them being able to give back more to the school, and I thank them very much for their efforts.
That's wonderful.
They do great work.
Absolutely. I'll actually piggyback on that. The Westfield High School PTSO voted today on their mini grants and awarded over $7,000 in mini grants to the teachers. So we do appreciate, I know that those are just 2 isolated incidents of the generosity of all the PTSOs in the district. Any other liaison reports? I would like to recognize the public for any questions or comments. Seeing nobody, I would ask the board to approve the following resolution. Resolve that the Board of Education move into private session for the purpose of discussing non-aligned salaries, negotiations, the superintendent's merit goals, and harassment, intimidation, and bullying incidents. Resolve that any discussion held by the board which need not remain confidential and the results of the discussions will be made public as soon as practical. Can I have a second? Charles, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are in private.